Good morning, everybody. Today's book we're going to talk about is Project Hail Mary. Author, Andy Weir, copyright 2021. Publisher, Ballantine Books. Illustrations by David Lindroff. Total pages 476. Project Hail Mary is a #1 New York Times best-selling fiction novel. It was a finalist in the 2022 Hugo Award for Best Novel and Audiobook Unabridged Version narrated by Ray Porter, won the 2022 Audio Award for Audiobook of the Year. Written in first-person past tense perspective, Ryland Grace, a middle school science teacher and former astrobiology researcher, his internal dialogue helps him to figure out why he has no recollection on how he got into a spaceship is very effective. I don't want to give too much of the book away, but it was very exciting to read this, a page turner. I couldn't put it down. I spent the whole last week reading it. This review is for everyone who enjoys a unique storyline, especially, like a space odyssey type of thing, much like the other movies we've seen, but this one has a fresh take on everything. It's just so brilliant. The writer was brilliant to think of this in the first place. I enjoyed Ryland's humorous, different points of view as he answers the computer's questions, which he does not want to answer. He just wants to eat burritos. But, and the computer is just trying to get him to remember who he is because he has no recollection. And it's very disheartening for a man who's a science teacher. Why can't I remember who I am and why I'm on this spaceship, The storyline and theme throughout the book is to get Ryland Grace, who is millions of miles away from home with no memory, to get his identity back so he can come up with a solution as to why the Tau Centauri star, excuse me if I mispronounced that, and why it is and what is immune to the astral phase of alien micronism that is quickly depleting the sun's energy and causing a global ice age. If it cannot find a solution, the Earth will cease to exist. I enjoyed the many chapters in the book, and like I said previously, I don't want to give too much of the story away. I want y'all to go out and buy it and read it. But I did like chapter 10. It was informative, descriptive, and humorous. I have a couple of parts here I'd like to just read to you. That's an alien. I just saw an alien, not just an alien ship, an alien being. I mean, just his claws alone. Ooh, hard. But yeah. And then he also says, Ryland says, he's, comparing Rocky into like a Nintendo Power Glove. I don't know what that is. I'm not into games, but anyway, he's a spider, a big-ass spider. And another section is 5 hands and wears clothing. So that is Rocky. That's a very descriptive, short, to the point, very descriptive, visual of Rocky, who's a spider. Rocky happens to be an engineer from his planet in Erid. He's also on his own mission to the star Tau Centauri, and he's also sent to try to figure out or find a solution to save the sun from not turning what's going on with the sun. Why is it depleting its energy source, and so the two of them, after Rocky communicates to him by tapping on one of the sections there in the spaceship, try to get his attention. The two of them become friends. It's just really, to me, it's like a buddy friendship love story. The two of them come together in dire straits. They got to save the world, and they come together to do that. And what's what's important to Rocky is that he lives with Ryland, and the two of them come up with a solution to save the world. Now, one of the other things that I found very interesting was Rocky communicates with musical sounds and notes. It's ingenious to me that the author did this. As Rocky provides advanced material, Rocky in turn helps, Rylan in turn helps Rocky, with his problems and issues. And I can't tell you the ending. So hopefully they find a way in a reasoning, or else, the world ends. I highly recommend this Hail Mary to everyone. The premise alone is enough to keep you reading to the very end. It did me. And I'm just so excited about this book. It was so entertaining and so interesting to somebody who, like me, I'm not interested in, space travels, although I did like the other movies. But I just wanted to say, grab this book if you can. It's very entertaining. And so next time, please just keep reading. Bye-bye.